Yes, guys, and a welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102. The D.T.L, the auctions are complete as Season 7 is just in sight. We've currently got a minimal P2P window, which basically is what we had at the start of the auctions. And I like the idea of a P2P window after the auctions because players have possibly bought players that they now realise they don't need or what have you. There ain't much involved in terms of transfers for fees because you can't do fuck all with your money now till next season. So it's really a case of trades and here and there. For me personally, I think I got rid of a player on a free transfer and I did a trade with another manager as well. So the save hasn't been released yet. It hadn't been released when I checked anyway. So I will show you. It's going to be quite minimal. It's going to be really based on me, really, for my own team, what we've done so far in terms of the auction. So, I actually, not that I realised this, but I created a record. I created a record in the last auction. Was it the last auction? Yes, it was. I smashed the record of the biggest transfer where we paid out, and I've got it wrote down here, where we paid out £39.3 million for a player that I have used a program to move into my team, Alessandro Nesta. Ignore all this stats and shit. Nesta is a Wolves player. So basically what I've done is I used the program until Mark does the save, just shifted out all the players that I've got rid of, brought in all the players that I've got. It's all mid-save and stuff. And these are the guys that we've managed to bring in. Now, I'm looking at the, alongside, I'm looking at players that have arrived in the world record. The world record before that Nesta deal was when Liverpool's manager Redknapp had purchased David Beckham for 30.2 million. Little did I realise that when I purchased Rivaldo the season before last, I think it was, I had the second best at the time at 26.1. Matt's Newcastle brought Lucia last season for 25.5. Trunky buying Pires for 24.8. Me, I brought another sign in this auction window, Veron, 23.6. And as you can see, Veron is here. Well, we've got Veron and Rivaldo. I mean, I'm quite optimistic for my season ahead. We've brought a lot of players, key players, I think. I've actually done a lot of research on it, to be honest with you, like a fucking geek that I am. And we've done some, I think our last bit of business was with, I think it was it Dueveston? I think it was Dueveston. We brought in Carlos Germano. I've got a rough idea what I'm going to be doing. Montero and Nesta. If I start to go free at the back, Alpe's a great player to bring in. Henningberg's actually alright, despite him being 32, but the age isn't an issue, as we know. We brought in Zivkovic. I like him. I think he's got a bit of versatility to cover fullbacks. I think he's got a CA of 160, I think he's got. And our last player that we bought, which was on a rebid, it was only, I think, 800 grand. This guy here. It's just going to add a little bit of depth. Marvin Andrews arrived as a P2P deal along with Man United's London. That was before the auctions. We got that deal over the line. Let's go to the midfielders, see if we've got anything of interest. We've obviously got Claudio Lopez and Rakuba. Key players they're going to be, but we will see. Victor's got a great CA. He's got a great CA. So if I play wingers, then it's likely that he's going to start. Mikel as well isn't too bad. I think he's got about a 142 CA. Lima we brought in, I think he's got a CA of about 150 odd. He's not too bad. Solari will possibly start regardless. Veron and Rivaldo though are likely to be the main men in the middle of the park. If I go free up top, which I might 4-3-3, I haven't ruled it out. You're looking probably at Lopez, Rakuba and Marley. Marley had a great season for me last season. That was a genuine season, 7-8-1. We brought Marioni. I'm unsure about him. I like him, but I'm not sure. It depends how he loads on a new save, don't it? I've always liked the look of Shilletta. I just don't like his position. I just like the look of him. Omar Gomez, I think I was happy to get rid of him on an exchange, but no one came in, which is fine. Same with Posse, Castillo as well. We've got a few fringe players. I think we brought this guy as well. I'm sure I brought this guy, this Romanian, just for a bit of versatility, really. But in terms of whilst I just I'll leave it on there for the benefit of Trunky being visible for everyone to see that he won the title. Let's take a look now then at the last set of auctions. Something I kept an eye on is Neil, the manager of, that's Virgil van Dijk, the manager of Leicester. He's been busy. He's been a busy bee. He spent a few quid. I think he spent most of his money. Spectral, right. Spectral is now number 1 on my shit list. So auction 10, Spectral, he brought in DD for £8.7 million. And he brought in Amoruso for, I didn't realise how much Amoruso was, 14.2 million he paid for Amoruso. He brought in Christophe Kinet for 300 grand. But that's not why you're in my shit list. You brought Sol Campbell, that was the other one. Sol Campbell, £18.5 million. Sol Campbell, I actually think, right, Sol Campbell, can I say this? He's a racist. Sol Campbell is a cunt. He's a fucking cunt. Always playing the race card. He does my fucking... And I actually loved him as a player. I thought an absolute great player. I didn't even deprive him of leaving Spurs for Arsenal. But he's an absolute wanker. He was a wanker when he went to... was it Notts County? He's a fucking disgrace. Yeah, great signing there in Sol Campbell. But that's not why Spectral is my number 1 wanker. It was auction 9. Why Spectral is my number 1 wanker, because I went for 2 players, right? This is why I probably went for so much on Nesta. I knew Spectral was armed with a lot of money, so that I had to do something. And people probably think I went too much. Yeah, maybe I did. But Spectral was armed, and Spectral was clearly active in the auctions. He's either active or he's not. And I think most times in the past he's not been active, hence that he's got a fucking war chest to work with. So auction 9, Alessandro Del Piero went to Spectral's Chelsea for 22.5 million. If that weren't hard enough, Javier Zanetti went to Spectral's Chelsea for 22.5 million also. I was fucking seething. I was so angry that he got them both. I had bids in for both. It is what it is. Now, I did ask Spectral, what did he go? And where did I say it? I think I asked him how much did he bid, and he said he felt that. Where did I write it? I thought. Where did I write it? I thought. Yeah, fuck you, Trunky. I'm just reading your thing. All that money, yeah. Oh no, I did ask, how much did you go for Nesta? And he responded, I thought it would be enough by breaking the record of Rivaldo's 27.5 million, but seems you've gone mad. I don't believe I've gone mad there. I did what I had to do, because I knew, obviously I analysed how much money people have got, and he was active in auction 9, and let's be honest, right, had Spectral have got Nesta as well, I mean, I'd love to know exactly how much he went, but he obviously went above 27.5 million, but it is what it is, isn't it? So that was the key one of auction 9. Let's have a quick look at auction 8. Then let's go back a little bit. Clarence Sadoff went to Niels Virgil van Dijk. Went to Leicester's Virgil van Dijk. 15.7 million. Bastard beat me to him. I wanted Sadoff. I thought he looked great. But nevertheless, great signing for Neil. On this particular auction, I picked up Alpay. Nobody else of real major interest. Florent Maloude went to Reese for £6.5 million. That was quite an interesting one. When you see names like Florent Maloude, you think, oh, fucking I remember that cunt. Okay, so let's go back to auction 7. We'll only go back to 6 auctions. Auction 7, Dejan Stankovic went to AJ for £10.1 million. Eric Bakker went to Newcastle for 3.6. Stefano Fiore went to Reese for 8.3. That was a great signing. This is where I picked up Marioni for 400 grand. I was quite pleased with that. So that was that. Let's have a look at auction 6. Gary Kelly went to Man United for 4.1. Trunky made his move in the market here, auction 6. Pavel Nedved, £18.2 million. It's a great signing there from the champions. Virgil van Dijk's Leicester, 6.6 for John Dowell Thomason. Great signing there. Dermatron bringing in Damiano Zenoni, £8.6 million. Spectral wanker, £17.7 million for Gianluigi Buffon. Another monster play. This was a monster fucking auction because this is the same auction that I landed Veron for £23.6 million. Neil brought in Oleksiy Belik for £6.8 million. I'm not even familiar with that guy, to be honest with you. Reese brought in Nikos Matcheles. I think he's a great striker, £4.5 million. Dermatron over at Southampton brought in Jonathan Woodgate for £6.7 million. Great signing that is for Dermatron. Definitely a great signing. And so, you know, auction 6 really was an explosive one, and it was quite balanced out, to be honest with you. But I think in terms of this season, I think Spectral is going to be, it's going to be difficult. You know, I think maybe Spectral or Trunky might be thinking, you know what, it's going to be a lot difficult, a lot tougher this season. I've done what I had to do. I did have a game plan right from when the season finished and the CPU bids and that sort of stuff. I had a game plan in my head, and I'm quite pleased with it, to be honest with you. I mean, I'll tell you something really, really quickly. I've got it all wrote down somewhere. So let me just get to it. The D.T.L, my D.T.L folder, and this really reflects back over to here. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're calling me a fucking geek. Yeah, I know. So my three goalkeepers, no, I've sold Majadan, didn't I? Germano has a CA of 150. Esteban 164 and 46. We brought in Richard Wright 145. Solari 162 CA. Montero 169. Nesta 187. Veron 185, Rivaldo 187, Victor 162, Rakuba 172, Lopez 165, Marley 158. I think if I looked at Spectral's lineup and did it in the same sort of context, it would be scary, it would be frightening. Same with Trunkies, really. But that being said, right, take nothing away from excuse me. Reese has been busy this season, and we could see Tranmere be a threat. Max Newcastle, I don't think he's been active enough in the market, if truth be told. AJ Man City hasn't been as active. I think he'll just hope for a top 6 finish. For me, it needs to be a top 3 for me. Marimo Arsenal. Obviously, none of the deals. This is the last transfer. This is the last update save at the end of last season. So, Dweverston, Leeds, Southampton, Dermatron, Preston. Who was Preston again? I'm getting confused with Preston and Luke. Getting just whatever. Okay, Man United. I think he suffered 1 or maybe 2 sackings. I think Redders will be really disappointed to have the way his season ended, but he did win a cup, didn't he? He won the League Cup, so he's in Europe. We don't know what the situation is with Europe yet, do we? We don't know what's going to happen. But it's very, very exciting in the D.T.L world. Very, very exciting indeed, and who knows what's around the corner. Till next time from me and all the gang at the D.T.L, take it easy.